Got a shot, but they're not going to win. Stanford makes a big statement for the Pac-12 and for their own team with a win tonight over Oregon.
You know you make me wanna take my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and clap on me now. So good to see
the anthem to start the fourth quarter at Alton Stadium, and boy, the Ducks hope that they give them a reason to be a little bit louder now. Oregon gets its first real chance to make some noise as Stanford and Bryce Love roll in. Winner stakes its claim as Pac-12 contender. First day of fall brings ranked teams on the road against home underdogs. 9 of them ready to howl, and those home dogs will bite, and so will the Ducks. I still remember that I want you to know it's always loudest before the dawn as College Game Day is up before the sun in this jewel of the Emerald City.
ESPN College Game Day.
Good morning, Eugene.
Well, we rode right through Death Valley, Boomer Sooner and Gig and Maggie, through our Longhorns up in Austin along the way. Road time road through Alabama, hit 'em hard at the farm in Stanford, ran the hill and through Eagle on the plains. Rocked the big house in the Gator Swamp, fight the Irish and the Tomahawk Chop. Out on USC, the Buckeyes and Georgia Dogs. Check it out, everybody, keep it locked where you got it. Game Day is in your city, get your weekend started. It's an amped-up California atmosphere. Live crowd on fire, energy in the air.
We Corso, David Turkey Days, college football knowledge, the Game Day gives. Get fired up, the best party of the day.
Trying to kick off, yo, it's College Game Day. Your city. If you want a little bang in your yeah. If you want a little sing in your sing. If you want a little ching in your shine, come along. Well, we're coming to your city.
Live from Eugene, Oregon, is built by the Home Depot. Proud sponsor of college football's premier pregame show.
It never rains in Alton Stadium, but they ride motorcycles in there. Here comes the Duck. Is LC on the back of that? Is that LC on the back?
He's been out there before.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe that's me.
Let that big hog up. Doc, what do we got here? There we go. There he is. Hey!
Now we can start. It's official. It's official. He's here.
It feels good to be in Eugene.
The San Diego chicken of college mascots right there.
He is the undisputed king, that's for sure. How great is it to be back in the Pacific Northwest and back in Eugene. Glad to have you with us. College Game Day. Reese Davis, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, and Desmond Howard. You know, classes haven't even started here yet.
Which is crazy.
But the first big exams coming for this team. Their schedule's been easy, but this is a big scene, and they're ready for it.
That's a huge test for them today going up against Stanford. I tell you what, I think that Eugene, Oregon is going to play a huge part in college football. I think it's going to be big in the college football playoff. And I also think at the end of the season, the Heisman race. There's a guy or two who's going to play at tonight's game that may walk away with that trophy.
I'd be hyped. We come all over the country. We get asked all the time, where's your favorite place to take College Game Day? And I say every time, Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah.
This is the best crowd. Honestly, it's 6 in the morning here.
Yeah.
It's card. It's raining. They don't care. These fans right here, pound for pound, are as good as any college football fans in the country.
I'm happy to be back in Eugene. It's the
Absolutely.
home of the Oregon Ducks. It's no secret the Oregon Duck is my favorite mascot. And to prove it, I put on the Duck's head 18 times. 18 times. But look, for me, there's no place like this place.
I know that's right, Coach. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So do you want to just go ahead and put the duck mascot head on right at the top of the show?
Uh-oh.
Gotta watch the show, might be
It's still
surprised.
business.
Not so
though.
fast.
It's still
Oh,
business.
the tree looks pretty pretty.
Hey, only a couple of ranked versus ranked games. Head with the Saturday slate with #1 Alabama and that powerful offense. Stanford and Oregon. The hometown quarterback Justin Herbert responsible for 13 touchdowns, second in the country, and this is his chance for a big signature win. Now, he's made his mark with big plays, but Stanford's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside's made big ones, trying to get Bryce Love going. He says he's healthy. David Shaw, Stanford head coach with Maria Taylor.
All right, Coach, in a pivotal Pac-12 North matchup, you face a quarterback that's already thrown for 12 touchdowns. What kind of challenge does this Oregon offense put your defense in?
Well, it starts with Justin Herbert and his ability, first and foremost, to get the ball down the field. He's got a strong arm. He's got a quick release. But the other scary thing is his athleticism. So we got to keep him contained, try to make him push up and not let him get outside, because if he gets outside, I've seen him flick the ball 55, 60 yards. So it's a big challenge for us.
I'm sure Oregon will be game planning against Bryce Love. We haven't seen him in a game. What do you need to see from him early in your matchup?
Well, the biggest thing starts for us up front. We've had some lineup changes. We may have another one in this game where we just need to be consistent and get on our blocks. If he gets the ball enough times, he'll make some things happen.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
9 ranked favorites on the road against unranked teams today. Look, this is one of the most dangerous things in the sport, and it feels like you better not roll your B- game out there with some of these road games.
Feels like one of those days, doesn't it? Feels like one of those days. We're going to be looking back tonight, and the upsets are out there. There's 3 that stand out to me as possibilities. Kentucky at home is a big dog against Mississippi State. Purdue's got a chance against Boston College. They're 0-3. They could be 3-0. BC better be ready for them. And old Notre Dame. I'm not picking on Notre Dame, but with the offense playing the way they are, they're always in the game for a potential upset.
Wisconsin must win this game to get in the playoff, as I predicted. But listen, at Iowa and Penn State are 2 of the toughest games of the year for them. And Wisconsin's a 3-point favorite. But I smell an upset here, boy.
Hey, tell your buddy to the left. Tell your buddy to the left to leave my Boston College team alone.
Purdue's winning today.
Don't
Did you hear what he
jinx
said?
them.
He said Wisconsin's got a tough game today. Iowa,
Right.
they got Penn State.
Exactly.
He skipped that trip to Ann Arbor. He just didn't even bring it in.
He feels good about it.
I'm not worried
Well,
about
it
it.
depends on what the quarterback plays. But I agree with you about Notre Dame, too. Now, rumor has it they're going to change quarterbacks. They may go with Ian Book. That may give them a chance. But defensively, I don't know if their defense can hang with Wake Forest's offense.
Yeah.
These guys average 93 plays
Yep.
per game. So they run plays at an up-tempo pace that
But-
may give Notre Dame's defense some issues. I want to see what the offense looks like now under Book if he gets to start.
Bunch more picks coming up. We're going to add a few more picks over the course of the
Yeah, a
show.
lot of picks today.
We're going to show Bryce Love going bike riding.
They love Bryce Love riding the bike.
Hey, we'll have college football playoff talk coming up with the selection committee chair, Rob Mullins, who is the athletic director here. There's a bug I got to kill before he bites me.
Would even dream of letting this kind of trash come on their campus. And the University of Oregon was the last hope.
Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman. Damn glad to meet you.
Might even find somebody from the Animal House cast to be the guest picker. And Justin Herbert grew up in the shadows of Autzen Stadium. He'll explain why playing for the Ducks is so special for him and his family. We've had ducks on a motorcycle. I've killed a wasp before we get close on. We're ready to go. We're ready to roll here.
We got something special in that show.
Do you?
Oh, really?
Do you really?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Watch this show.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a good one, isn't it? Ducks. Both Ducks.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. And in part by New York Life. We know that life doesn't fit into any one plan. So start a plan that flexes with yours. And Wendy's. Download Wendy's app now for a free Dave single with any purchase every day this month.
State-of-the-art football facility here at Oregon, and there is the Heisman Trophy won by Marcus Mariota in 2014.
Can't tell if we're at NASA or at their facilities or football.
I tell you what, you can't hide money.
No, you can't.
Well, I know. They've got everything you would need. They played for the national championship a couple of times this decade. It is a tradition here on College Game Day that Old Crimson makes an appearance. 213th consecutive College Game Day in which Old Crimson, the Washington State flag's been here. And we are delighted to have the late Tyler Helinski's mom, Kim, joining us. Helinski's Hope Foundation helps educate and destigmatize mental health issues for Division I athletes. Oregon running back coach Jim Mastro was on that Washington State staff the last few years, close to the Helinski family. He invited them to come, and we welcome them today and support their cause and continue to offer our prayers and support to them. Welcome, the Helinski family. Glad to have them with us here today. Washington State played last night. Ohio State next week. Good time to mention Nick Bosa won't play in that game. He's got the abdominal issue, had surgery on it. But what did you see from the games last night that left a lasting impression?
A lot of points. I think defense is still optional in college football. If you're expecting that to go away, the best teams are going to score a lot of points.
I think Penn State, Ohio State next week is going to be incredible.
Awesome.
I mean, Trace McSorley, that offense going up against Ohio State, what Dwayne Haskins is doing, it'll be a shootout next week. Be fun.
It was fun to see USC play the way they played, especially the way they played in Texas the week before. They had a lot of people doubting them. And that quarterback, true freshman JT Daniels, I liked the way he battled in the second half.
I just saw a sign behind us that some guy didn't recognize, but there's a very recognizable figure that is prominent among the signs here at Oregon this morning, and it is Willie Taggart. You know, the former Oregon, now Florida State coach. Vibe and Doak Campbell is going to be really intriguing. Florida State takes on Northern Illinois. Knowles have given up a bunch of sacks and pressures, and now Taggart has to deal with Sutton Smith, who led the nation in sacks last year. And here they come into Doak Campbell today. This Northern Illinois team has been scrappy. They fought Utah, had to play Iowa in the early part of the season, and now they go in there against a reeling Seminoles team. I'd say that the Seminoles have looked like a dumpster fire, but that wouldn't really be fair. Dumpster fires still have evidence of a flame. There's not even a flicker on the spear in Tallahassee these days. Their offensive stats are abysmal. The defense has been absolutely middling. And while it might well just be growing pains to the start of the Willie Taggart era, those pains have been surprisingly excruciating.
Florida State has its man. Willie Taggart heads back to his home state.
Willie Taggart's name was the first name and really the only name that came up on Florida State's list.
He will end up winning more games, have a better and longer tenure, and win more championships than Jimbo Fisher.
Stanford football team really put a serious scare into Florida State.
Florida State barely beat some team called Stanford? Tell me what is wrong with the Noles.
When you can't block Stanford, you're screwed. There's no nice way to say this. We are screwed.
Everybody was upset. Everybody was embarrassed by the way we played.
The performance that they put on at Syracuse was downright abysmal. This is a precarious situation for Willie Taggart.
Between the way they were playing and the backpack, they could have made themselves look any worse.
They won't beat anybody if they continue playing the way they are.
I believe in this football team, and I believe we're all going to get it right. Hang in there with it.
As I'm sure our audience knows, all the booing for Taggart because he came here for 1 year and then left and went to Florida State. The Florida State offense, which is really Willie's calling card and has been throughout his career, you see how they rank against FBS teams. It just hasn't been good. The defense hasn't been much better either. You know, their best defensive game in terms of yards allowed was against Virginia Tech, and it didn't seem like, that they played that great then. Growing pains or signs of some big problem?
I think there's definitely signs of a problem. And this week, I think when a players call a players-only meeting, it's a good thing. And they need to fix what they need to fix. They need to compete harder. They need to compete better. But I think when you look at this system, Willie Taggart, you assumed, just like Reese just said, you assumed offense would come, and this would be something that would be natural. They need to figure that out. It's not about your system. It's about what you have in your locker room and finding a way to make it work. Now, Francois needs to run more. It needs to be more of Willie's offense that we've seen in the past. And I think this will have to change quickly, but there's obviously a big problem.
The first thing a new coach has to do when he takes over a program is get the guys to buy in. And I think from the players' meeting, it's obvious that some kids just didn't buy in, and that's natural. when one coach recruits you, another coach comes in, there's some defiance that's going to happen within the locker room. I think that's what Willie Taggart is going through right now. We knew coming into the season they had offensive line problems. Those things continue to persist. If you can't block anyone in the trenches, you saw the guy on the little radio call. If we can't block Stanford, we have no hope, which is true. They're going to have to shore up that offensive line because they lead the conference in tackles for a loss and for sacks allowed. So that's where it all starts. Growing pains, I do think eventually they could be okay.
Willie Taggart inherited an offensive line that's been terrible for 7 years. So it's not all of a sudden what's wrong with the offensive line. They've sucked forever. So that's not an issue. These numbers are staggering considering they played Syracuse and Stanford. Yeah. Wait till they get into conference play. Now, you got to believe the players are sitting in their hotel right now watching this, and they're going to get very fired up and maybe play with a different level. Their season's not over. But when you go down these numbers and you start to look, rushing offense, 121st in the country, third down conversion, 129th in the country, red zone touchdown percentage, 115th in the nation. I mean, it can't get any worse than this. Now, like your question, is it a big picture issue? Did they make the wrong hire? Is that the question we're trying to get into? I know their fans are wondering that. I don't think so. I don't think you can go there after 3 games, but you worry about team morale. You worry about guys throwing in the towel and starting to worry about the NFL.
And you start looking at the schedule and the possibility of, 4-8 or something.
You're looking at 4 wins unless things change. Yeah. Maybe most.
Maybe fewer than that.
Yeah.
But you know what they say? It's always darkest before the dawn. Yeah. Very dark in Tallahassee right now. Still dark here in Eugene. They're not exactly crying any tears over Willie's struggles. But, there might be a few people who hit the snooze. Maria Taylor is with us. We've already heard from Maria this morning. She's been with David Shaw. Maria, it's quite a scene out here in Eugene this morning.
Yeah, you're right, Reese. It's my first time spending an early morning here in Eugene. The Ducks have not disappointed. Earlier this week, though, I went to Palo Alto to get to know Bryce Love and how a Heisman Trophy finalist also finds time to be a human biology major and a stem cell researcher. Oh, by the way, he's still returning to the field in tonight's game. Meanwhile, Lions, Tigers, Ducks, oh my, who's your spirit animal? I'm taking the bear. Mike Leach, who you got?
First of all, you start thinking about flight. So there's eagle. Grizzly bears are coming back, and when I was a kid, I had a raccoon, so I like raccoons. I don't know. I don't really have one. It's difficult for me to have one.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. When you put in the hours, the reps, and the heart, nothing can keep you from being blimp-worthy. Goodyear, more driven. Still awaiting the arrival of the sun this morning in Eugene. Coke Zero Sugar offering fans the best seat to enjoy college game day. Section 0. And as we work our way through the soda and into the crowd, we've got Ashton Eaton, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist in decathlon. Ashton Eaton is here supporting his Ducks. Oregon track and field star from 2006 to 2010. I know you can win a gold medal if you're Ashton Eaton. Morning here in Eugene, and we've got a great crowd, tremendous signs out here. The Home Depot Game Day tailgates rolling as we check in with Chef Tiffany Norton and the crew from Party Downtown. That's the Home Depot Game Day tailgate. That's what's for breakfast. A big old piece of salmon in there, Des. I'm all in. Oh, man. All in. And you know they're grilling stuff. Next Saturday night, Ohio State and Penn State. Right? You'll have Oregon and Stanford as we are in Eugene into the playoff with Rob Mullins, the Oregon athletic director, who is also the chair of the collection committee this year. And Kurt's already put teams in there. And how about the hometown kid, Justin Herbert, who leads the Ducks at quarterback?
I still got to pinch myself because just a couple years ago I was in the stands watching, just thankful and glad to be practicing out on that field.
I got some good friends that live down the street. Got a good-looking woman with her arms around me. We're a small town where it feels like home. I got everything I need and nothing that I want.
I don't know if Bryce Love recycles or not, but Marcus Mariota's still popular here. Bryce Love, Stanford rolling in as we're starting to get a little peak of daylight as we cross the top of the hour here in Eugene. Stanford and Oregon still to come on College Game Day. 1977, they didn't have a big budget, but a film crew got to Oregon, and 40 years later, Animal House. We shared the story of how the toga became preferred garment here, and Will Greer as West Virginia's offense rolling. He's a Heisman candidate. He's probably not the most. He's not the most well-known person in his family. We'll tell you about it. And the wild, and the weird, and the wacky, and well, at least he can hit the high notes now. You had one job coming up. Did you see what happened to him? There was a mishap with a T-shirt cannon into the lower abdominal region. That's unfortunate. We'd like to right now join the Home Depot Foundation in their annual Celebration of Service campaign to serve veterans nationwide. Visit serveveterans.com for ways that you can get involved. And we salute all the men and women in service and those who have joined us here in Eugene on College Game Day. Well, this is a tremendous, these guys, they need to start class next week. They just finished up their welcome week here, people moving into the dorm. Great way to start your academic career, particularly for the freshmen, the most in the Pac-12. And Browning has struggled a little bit this year, particularly under heat. Washington is going to be an interesting case study for the men and women of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. You see how it looked last year. They'll all get together down there in Grapevine, Texas, and on October 30th, the night before Halloween, the first official rankings from the College Football Playoff Selection Committee will be unveiled, and the chair of that committee is the Oregon Athletic Director, Rob Mullins, who joins us now. Get a nice round of applause here. And I have promised and told these guys, we're not going to put you in the hypotheticals of what are you going to do if this team does this. But when you look at a case like Washington's, went out and challenged themselves in the non-conference season. Now they have to navigate a tough conference schedule. How much does the committee stay concerned about sending a message if they lose the second game, and one of those losses was where they challenge themselves in the schedule?
Well, obviously
any team.
It's very early in the season, but strength of schedule matters. And we absolutely want to see folks challenge themselves. And as we start to meet after week 9, we'll start to look at that complete body of work. And a tough loss at a neutral site, far from home, the committee will absolutely have the discussion, and we'll have those coaches there who can tell us what that feels like.
Rob, one thing that a lot of us have appreciated is you guys aren't the polls. You have a willingness to move people around pretty aggressively based on results and based on maybe going way back to what they did 11 weeks ago in the non-conference. End of the day, how does that room decide between the best four and the most deserving four? Because I think for the fans, they sometimes get confused on what the committee is actually looking at.
Right. Obviously, we have great data. We have incredible technology to watch a lot of games. You got 13 individuals who take this role very seriously. And when we get in there, the protocol that the commissioners set out when this all started was to pick the best four teams. And that's the goal. And when it's close at the margins, there's a set of protocol that includes strength of schedule, conference championships that all come into the debate. But at the end of the day, our job is to pick the best four teams.
Okay. Getting back to Washington, I think Washington, if they have one loss, have two chances to get in, slim and none, because the public perception of the Pac-12 is not good right now.
But we're still only 3 weeks in, and there's lots of opportunities before we start meeting after week 9, and we got a lot of season left.
Rob, thanks for joining us. Look, the selection process is far from perfect. We all understand that. But if there was one thing, just one thing you would change, whether it's something about the protocol, the criteria, or even the number of teams, what one thing would that be?
Boy, that's tough to say. Having been on the committee 2 years and watched it for all 4 years, I think the results have worked. I think they've gotten the best teams in the playoff. We've seen great games that have produced the championships. It's great for college football. So I don't know that I would change anything. You've got 13 outstanding individuals with a variety of backgrounds, and that diversity leads to great debate and ultimately the best four teams being in the playoff.
So you're good with the number 4? You're good with that number? 4 teams.
Well, as the selection committee, our job is just to rank them and put them in the playoffs.
Okay, you said you wouldn't change it.
We have great commissioners, and they give us the protocol.
Understood.
The Duck wants you to give him a call to get him in there. You got to win tonight, Duck. You got to win tonight.
I love the Duck.
You said you have some experience on the committee, and I keep hearing it. And Alabama and Georgia ranked 1 and 2, but last year the committee didn't have to worry about a rematch. Again, not putting you in a hypothetical. How much does the potential for a rematch play into the selection process again, as opposed to last year when you had 2 teams from the same conference, but they hadn't played?
No, I don't think that weighs in at all. Again, at the end of the day, when we're in there, we review that protocol before every single meeting. And the job is to get the best 4 teams. If that produces a rematch, it produces a rematch. But we're going to get the best 4 teams in the playoff.
All right, we're not going to let you leave before the big fella, the Bear, comes at you with something tough. What do you have for us, Bear?
The last couple of years, I've always been the advocate of saying that it's possible for a 2-loss team to be better than a 1-loss team. There are metrics out there that can compare 2 losses versus 1 loss, whether it's schedule, quality wins, conference title. What's the toughest argument to make in that room to try and convince the fellow committee members that, you know what, I don't care that they have 2 losses, they've got better non-conference wins, they've got a better strength of schedule, they're better than a 1-loss team and should be an over 1-loss team?
Yeah, I don't think it's a tough argument because we don't get into the number of losses. Obviously, you're looking at the total body of work. And oftentimes, you line up the resumes of 2 teams side by side with, again, great data, and you're able to talk through each and every game. It's definitely possible for a 2-loss team to have a chance.
Since we love coming to Eugene so much, I'm willing to offer up the Bears' services to be in that room if you need his assistance. Bears got a lot of good info for you guys.
Should I write my number on a board just like the Duck just did for him? Send me a text?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you were already texting with him. When a conference struggles as the Big Ten has. We saw this in 2014. They had an awful week in September and ended up producing the champion. Does that get overblown and media reaction to it? Fan
It probably
reaction?
does. There's a lot of reaction early. I think it's wise that the committee doesn't start meeting until after week 9. And again, when we're in there debating, we're not necessarily talking about what league you're in. We're lining up your resumes and we're looking at every single game.
Well, how about a team like UCF? They went undefeated last year and they call themselves national champions down in Orlando. How's that effective?
Well, they had a great year, and they were undefeated. But again, when you line up resumes, strength of schedule does matter, and that's really important.
Very good.
All right. Rob, I know when you guys go into that selection committee room that you hang your hat at the door, but now you can put your hat back on and start rooting for the Ducks. Go ahead and put the hat on.
We'll transition from another hat, and I'm looking forward to
the
the
athletic director here at Oregon and the chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. We really appreciate you joining us. It's great to see you. 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 on the East Coast. It'll be Rob's favorite team, the Ducks, taking on Stanford in a Pac-12 North showdown. It's also streaming live on the ESPN app and, of course, on ABC.
The actual coaches. Mario Cristobal here. He's our hometown fan at the Pizza Hut House of Pie. Okay, Coach, when you officially took over as head coach, what was the culture that you wanted to establish here at Oregon?
Well, we thought it was important to establish trust, belief, and accountability. And, a major part of that was being a much more physical ball club. And not just at the line of scrimmage, on the perimeter as well. And learning how to be a relentless competitor and getting all this accomplished while just coming together and galvanizing ourselves as a family. So that's a relentless process that everybody bought into. The coaches have done a great job, and we're trending in the right direction.
Speaking of family, we have his sons here too. What's up, Rocco? What's up, Mateo? We have all of the fans that have been out here since 5 a.m. If you have a message for the Ducks, go ahead and deliver it to them, what you need to see tonight.
Well, I think we all know what's up. Who has the best fan base in the entire world? So the goal for tonight is to break the decibel record in Autzen Stadium. You got me? Let's go.
You heard it from your commander-in-chief in the Duck Nation, Mario Cristobal. I think that they heard you. Reese?
Autzen holds that noise in for sure. It'll be a great scene. Of course, they'll be led by Justin Herbert, the hometown quarterback, potentially can put his mark on the Heisman race. He grew up here, went to high school in Eugene, not far away, and always dreamed of playing for Oregon. Of course, influenced by teachers and coaches throughout his career. And it is Extra Yard for Teachers Week, a week-long celebration of teachers. The College Football Playoff Foundation, through its Extra Yard for Teachers platform. You can visit the College Football Playoff Foundation website, www.cfp-foundation.org, to learn more about Extra Yard for Teachers Week and see how you can get involved in teachers. As I've said, huge impact on the hometown hero quarterback, Justin Herbert.
It's been a really special place to me. Growing up in Eugene and having my grandpa come play here was really special. And I know how much football meant to him because he'd come to every single practice. I still got to pinch myself because just a couple years ago, I was in the stands watching. Think about those 4 seats up there in Section 12, all the games, came here with my family. Just thankful and glad to be out on that field and thankful for all the memories I've made with the teammates.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And Pizza Hut, official pizza of college football. Order now at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Countdown to Kickoff is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar.
Just over an hour and a half or so away from the start of your college football Saturday. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Whether the drive is 1 yard or 100, it's hard work, determination, and grit that helps you score. Goodyear, more driven. Taking a look at the great signs. I've spun around here in the break and just read some of these signs. The Pizza Hut fan cam giving us a great look. I would say it's quite the opposite of HE double hockey sticks. Kind of heavenly here.
Oh,
this
perfect.
time of year, the weather is beautiful.
Kidding me? To get out of the humidity? How nice has this been for a couple days?
It's been sweet. Fantastic.
It's lovely. Kurt's still got the AC
Lovely.
on. Oh, everybody else.
I'm with the tree. Look at him.
Duck's playing with his signs, and LC's over there hanging out with a tree.
The duck is somewhere just...
Tree. Look at this beautiful tree. Look, beautiful tree.
LC's worn the tree before. He's gone tree on it before.
That's true. That's true. It's all business.
But he likes the duck.
It's all business, though. Hey, he'll tell you in a minute. He's strictly business,
He's cheating on the duck.
He is.
Tree.
Hit Corso on Twitter. He'll hit you back.
All right, the duck
No,
is
we
joining
won't.
us behind while LC's over there gallivanting around with the tree. So, Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Stop it. Take a sip as we're counting down to kickoff in 90 minutes in West Lafayette as Purdue tries to get into the win column. Gene Wojciechowski, where do you see this? Iconic movie Animal House, shot on the Oregon campus, and how those two things became a perfect match 40 years ago. And it's that time of week when we laugh at others' misfortunes. At least David and Maria do. We'll make the cut for you. Had one job.
Can't believe you guys do that.
Down the street, I got everything I need, and nothing that I don't.
Never unhappy. You know, we just slide across the ice.
A llama and an alpaca. I've had this weird thing for alpacas lately. I just like them. They're cool, kind of unique.
Oh, pug. Easily. I had a pug. All they do is sleep, eat, and have fun.
If I can come back as another creature in another life, it would probably be a little baby otter. They're precious.
Definitely my dog, Hershey. Get to cuddle up next to my wife, well-fed, and the air conditioning a lot.
I will be a lion. The reason why is because I already look 25% of that.
My spirit animal would probably be a sloth. Not because they move slow or anything. Well, probably because I'm slow.
Pterodactyl. Yeah, probably a pterodactyl. Just because I've never flew before.
I think that answer's easy here in Eugene.
The duck?
Spirit animal would be the duck, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Unless Corso wants to come back as a tree now.
No.
Live? Isn't there a history of live animals on the set we make Oregon picks?
Yeah.
What is that? Squirrel?
We got a couple.
Squirrel,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah. There's a little duckling.
Yeah.
Little duckling. Austin's going to be rocking tonight.
Students are back. This will be the loudest that stadium's been in a long time. I'm going back to the Michigan State game. Remember when they played Sparty out here, how crazy it was?
Yeah. Sparty got tired in the fourth quarter. Oregon won that one. What happens against Stanford, 8 o'clock Eastern time on ABC, streaming live on the ESPN app. Home Depot Tailgate Pro winner is Damian Humphrey. We're from Creative Contracting Incorporated, and Damian knows his stuff when it comes to college football and tailgating. It'll be a rather warm day.
Played last week down at College Station. You on Monroe, hung around for a half, and then A&M out
crossing the Delaware. He is king of the mascots, Dad.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
You mixed of it?
Yeah. Slide it on on over to Club DM. You get that?
I got it.
Maria, slide in the DM.
Well, they don't come down here, so yes, this is our club.
This is our club. This is it. This is all you get. Which means it's almost time for You Had One Job. We've been seeing the Ducks do a great job. There's a couple people that didn't do their job last week. Do you want to talk about it?
Let's do it.
All right, time for You Had One Job, presented by Geico. And David, I know you just love this play.
Oh yeah.
Keegan Brewer just taking the front back.
Pause. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out here. Nothing to see. Nothing to see here. That was one of the best plays, obviously, of the year.
90 yards later, the touchdown is good for North Texas.
He said he was terrified he had to sell that, by the way, because he was worried he was going to get hit in the mouth. But Arkansas fans,
because no one did their job.
Sorry.
All right, what about this one? This is all you, David.
Oh.
Peter Tonga, he got the interception.
Oh, he's going to the house.
Let's go.
He's going to score. Oh, that's why you play defensive line.
Man.
That's why you don't carry the football. Is because of that right there. It was a great pick. It was awesome. And then
ball skills. Work on the ball skills, David.
Tuck it away. Cover the points.
Alabama's Josh Jacobs. He gets the touchdown. How about this hanging on a little too long is Ruggs? Then he gets mad, gives the land shark to him.
How about this is the only way you can get Alabama on here is after a touchdown still, and he rubs it in the face, but land shark.
Yeah, the land sharks are pissed in the stands.
That guy's on there for that outfit,
so mad.
too.
What you won't do is talk about these land sharks. All right,
Puka.
Rutgers taking on Kansas. Jump. Hurdle. Oh, lost the ball.
The way he's been playing, he can do whatever he wants. Kansas winning games, but I like that. He actually had one in high school that was similar to that, but it's a nice try.
Yeah, Puka Williams, nice try. What about kickers? Kickers are trying. That's a little too low. We shouldn't kick it into the line of scrimmage, should we?
At some point, you just got to kind of sell it. You try, it was bad snap. Oh, this is the worst.
Best one. T-shirt gun in the groin. Let's go, Chip the Buffalo.
See, is that funny? Because he got carted off. I don't know that.
No. Chip's fine. He tweeted afterwards. It is funny.
I know, but he got carted off. I mean, they had to go see the doctor. I mean, that was probably embarrassing. It was just, it's a bad day at the office.
All right, Chip. Next time, just turn the T-shirt gun around. It's not a big deal.
Oh, yeah, that hurt.
Your one job when you're a mascot, don't hit yourself in the groin. That's all we're saying.
Not like Maria in that pizza
Don't do it.
commercial.
Walk of Champions, Ole Miss always wins the party, they say. And last night, our good friends at Wheels Up bringing Tim Matheson in as our celebrity guest picker. Eric Stratton, Rush chairman, will join us. How about that? Animal House star.
Love it.
You look at that guy's list of credits.
I know.
Holy cow. We catch up with some of the other unforgettable characters from the classic movie Animal House. Gene Wojciechowski on the connection to Eugene.
Mark Metcalf, and I played Douglas C. Niedermeyer, Sergeant at Arms.
You're all worthless and weak. Drop and
Give me 20.
Niedermeyer alive! And stay tuned for more Pizza Hut Game Day traditions coming up later on in the show.
Here's a Pizza Hut Game Day pro tip. When in doubt, flip it out.
Call it in the air when it hits the comfy chair.
Tails. Really, bro? There's still more pizza. Order online at pizzahut.com because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Creativity in full swing. Here in Oregon this morning, a lot of signs referencing their now former coach, Willie Taggart. Others taking a shot at Stanford, but this is really popular too. Reunited, and it feels so good. The peaches to his Herb, the Duck and Lee Corso. Dad jokes. Is the tree the worst mascot ever? I don't know. Oh, that's a subtle Willie Taggart reference.
Yep.
Well, now you just can't do
Bite
that.
string cheese.
Bite your string cheese. You just gotta.
Yeah,
I guess
you gotta peel it. Then you can't do that.
Yeah.
Next chapter.
George the winner.
That's okay. I'm a farter. Yeah.
I would know that David would jump in on that one. Eggs.
Every time.
Eggs. Right. You know, 1978, Oregon finished 2-9. Rich Brooks was the head coach. An Oregon alum named Phil Knight renamed his little company Nike. And there was a movie that came out called Animal House, and our Rush chairman, Gene Wojciechowski, is with us. Gino, it's a college classic here at Oregon.
You know, Reese, no one is going to confuse Animal House with Citizen Kane or Casablanca or Godfather. It was made for about $2.5 million, which is about how much they pay head coach Mario Cristobal to coach the Ducks. It made history. It made a lot of money, about $141 million grossing, and still counting. And it would have never happened without an unlikely co-star, the University of Oregon.
I'm really sad. You know, this used to be the Delta House. And what we have here is the Oregon Foot and Ankle Center. It just kills me. All that's left is this plaque.
Well, that's not all that's left.
Mark Metcalf, and I played Douglas C. Niedermeyer, Sergeant at Arms.
You're all worthless and weak. I'm trapping.
Give me 20.
Hi, my name is Tim Matheson, but you can call me Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman. Damn glad to meet you.
Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman. Damn glad to meet you.
In 1977, the producers of a low-budget film called Animal House were damn glad to meet the University of Oregon and its school president.
We tried every university we could in about 10 different states, and everyone turned us down.
They thought it was too rowdy, too rambunctious, too lewd.
No other universities would even dream of letting this kind of trash come on their campus. And the University of Oregon was the last hope.
University of Oregon president, William Beatty Boyd. When we finally sent him Animal House, he said, look, I don't know how to read a script.
He said, look, I don't know anything about movies. Go ahead and make the movie. And we filmed there.
Boyd gave his blessings, but there was a catch.
The one stipulation that I remember was that we not identify that it was particularly the University of Oregon where Animal House was being shot. Of course, they've changed their minds about that.
So the University of Oregon became the fictional favorite college. Circa 1962, it also became a battleground. The entitled ritualistic members of Niedermeyer's Omega House versus the rejects and anarchists of Eric Stratton's Delta House.
My name is Martha Smith. My character was Babs, honey.
Smith played a tri-pi sorority girl and cheerleader in the film.
I think he's just dreaming. I had been up for something else that I really wanted at the time for a soap General Hospital role, actually. And I blew the screen test on that and got this comedy, this little college comedy. It was going to go right to VHS, I thought, you know.
For research, she attended an Oregon football game.
We went on a very freezing winter day to watch the cheerleaders. They had a big duck, too, a big mascot duck.
You've seen the movie Animal House before, right? Love it, right? Favorite scene in Animal House?
My name is Bruce McGill. I played D-Day, guy on the motorcycle, flat top haircut, and the handlebar mustache. The cooperation of the president of the university to let us bring a real live horse into his actual real office. That would not have happened east of the Mississippi.
Yes, he's talking about this scene, where Delta House members Bluto, Flounder, and D-Day kidnapped Niedermeyer's beloved ROTC horse.
When they brought the horse in, it had on these hot pink knit slippers. It was like, whoa! The horse's hooves sort of scratched up this beautiful marble floor.
Oregon's Fenton Hall is where Dabbs recorded the minutes of the Delta House expulsion trial. Gerlinger Hall doubled as Emily Dickinson College, and where Eric Stratton had one small request.
And could you get 3 dates for my friends?
And then there is the Fishbowl Cafe.
The very booth of Belushi doing I'm a Zit, get it? And the food fight
when it finally got going, it lasted like 15 seconds. And afterwards, there was like meatloaf on the ceiling.
The Omega House survived, but not the Delta House. It's long gone, but not forgotten.
It was unlike any set I'd ever been on. We were outlaws up there doing this kind of outlaw movie. You know, it was way off the beaten path.
It was one of the funniest films that ever got made.
President Boyd at the University of Oregon, if he were here right now, I would say, ha, you up, you trusted us. No, I would say, hey, thanks. 40 years later, on your campus, they're still talking about this movie.
It's like the universe conspired to have it shot here. Can you imagine Animal House shot anywhere else? We can't.
You know, I actually tracked down now 95-and-a-half-year-old Dr. Boyd, and I asked him if you had the decision to do over again, what would you say? He said, I'd still let them make the movie at the University of Oregon. He thought it was a huge success. Catherine Wilson, who we saw, has done a documentary on the making of the film. Reese, I don't really get into that whole nostalgia thing and, you know, looking back and, you know, I think it's a little sad and a little pathetic, actually. Anyway, let's go. Ready, speed!
Toga! Do it for the gram, Gino. Do it for the gram. We need a gesture so futile, Gino. Do it for the gram. Watch out for those marbles. Thanks to the town of Cottage Grove for providing some of that transportation. But, gentlemen, settle down now. We have to review our pledge class for our game day fraternity. Our first pledge is Ed Orgeron. What do you think of Ed Orgeron? Corso, you're ranking member.
I think he's in because he's got two of the best coordinators in football on his staff. He's in as long as he's.
I think he'd be great for the parties.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You want a guy who's going to smash beers against his head?
That's him.
That's your guy.
Absolutely. Cage match, fight, we got him. Let's get him. He's our guy.
Yeah.
He's our guy.
Ed Orgeron, a member of the Game Day fraternity.
He's a first-round draft pick.
Pledge. How about Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin? Now, look, he's had some fumbling issues. Gotten better. Do we?
Well, I mean, he dropped.
I
don't know now.
Drop that ball.
I think he drops too much. Drops too much.
You're blackballing John.
last week.
That's
your guy. That's my guy, but he's out.
He's out.
Play well last week.
What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately?
I'm with Coach.
Exactly.
Coach, I mean, he's got to be every week. Got to show up. Come on.
Can we give him another week? Just no.
Yeah,
you just one more week.
Hey,
one more week.
Oh, here's a guy.
I know you may feel like that he lost last week, but he's a legacy. Remember, he was already on your team. You got to keep him in. What about Kyler Murray?
Oh yeah,
Kyler Murray.
That is a given right here. Like, why is he even on here?
He can do too many things.
Voting here.
Drafted the top 10 in baseball. I mean, he can play football. He's our intramural pick.
Intramural. He runs our intramural team right there. In fact,
he's good.
Listen, he can do it all. That kid's a great athlete.
Dance at all the parties too.
Yeah.
Very athletic guy.
Right.
I think some of our party joiners might have a reaction to this one. What do we think about this pledge candidate?
We got
Chip Kelly.
Heck yeah, Chip's in. I love Chip Kelly. He is in.
Hey, remember, he's at UCLA. They got the toughest schedule in the country.
Is that why they're 0-3?
No.
Cincinnati was on that, Des. You know, that was one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of those tough ones.
They got voted the toughest schedule in the United States.
Okay, yeah.
He'll be all
so
right.
he's in, though. You like him?
Yeah, he's
Chip's
in.
in.
Hey, Chip will smart off with plenty of people.
He's always our man.
Yeah, he's our guy.
You guys,
He'll bring some snide comments out the side of
you
his
guys
head.
you guys do know if we let everybody in, then it's not really a fraternity.
We didn't let Jonathan Taylor in.
I didn't know.
We're reserving
He
him.
vetoed John.
Okay,
Taylor.
here's the next pledge class candidate. Bryce Love of Stanford. We want Bryce Love.
Yeah, baby.
Come on, how could you not let this guy in?
He brings our GPA up.
He's a given. To be left out. You gotta have a smart guy like that in the fraternity, man.
He's going to be a doctor. That kid's going to be a doctor.
Are you guys really booing Bryce Love? Are you booing Bryce Love?
How can you boo
Bryce Love.
If you boo Bryce Love, if you boo Bryce Love, is that not an indictment of our entire educational institution?
Yeah, exactly.
And if that an indictment of college football and the United States of America, I will not let you stand here and talk bad about the Heisman runner-up. That's right. I'm going to break a guitar. 0.0, Mr. Blutarski. Hey, Maria, tell me about Bryce Love, why he should be in.
First of all, Reese, I second that emotion, and Bryce Love, I know for a fact, does recycle. In fact, when he came back for his senior season, David Shaw told him, look, you've already won the Doak Walker, you finished second in Heisman voting, and you've been an All-American. This has to be about being a great football player. But what about a stem cell researcher? Yeah, Bryce Love wants to be a pediatrician and a great football player, and for him, it's as easy as riding a bike. Every day you're riding your bike to classes?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got an electric bike, so it's not really riding, but...
It is riding. There's no pedal.
I'm on it every day.
I'm actually a little upset that you gave me the baby bike, and you got like the mountain climber electric bike.
Hey, I offered it off camera. She didn't want to have it. Just
not true. Lies. All right, Bryce, I've only been around you for like 30 minutes, and people are calling you Dr. Love, which means you must have access to a laboratory. Do you mind showing me around?
Absolutely. I got you. In here, I spent time doing sectioning, different stuff like that. You got another hood.
What does sectioning mean?
So it's just taking pretty much samples, cutting it, putting it on a slide, and just being able to look at it under a microscope pretty much. So nothing too crazy, pretty basic.
Okay, well, I'm going to take you to my lab, which is just cameras and an interview. Yeah. Come on. What is the work that you actually do in this lab, the research that you've been working on?
So the big project that we're doing here is on wound healing and scarring. And so the big aspect that we kind of try to focus on is in the third trimester, why animals and people just don't scar if they were to get cut. Just kind of analyze it and just see different aspects about it. So.
When do you foresee yourself becoming Dr. Love officially?
I mean, whenever my playing days are over, you know, I'm going to attack football with as much as I can, you know, give it all I can. And, you know, unfortunately, that's the thing about the game is that it comes to an end. So whenever that is, then I'll be able to really focus on that as well.
Daylight has arrived in Eugene on the quad here in this beautiful campus. Classes commence on Monday, but the big exam comes tonight for the Ducks as they take on Stanford. Oregon is yet to leave home. They get a home test before having to go on the road. We've had a tremendous crowd out here. Back to serious football after a little Animal House segment. Yeah, Coca-Cola Zero Sugar counting us down to kick off just about 40 minutes and change away from your college football Saturday. He's going to miss kickoff. Maybe
Just out there chilling.
He's got his phone in the ESPN app.
Yeah, of course. Don't leave home without it. Not this time of year.
ESPN Plus.
Coach got ESPN Plus. He's out in the middle. It is beautiful country out there. Great fishing, outdoors life, so many things to do in Eugene. Pizza Hut game day traditions, and you know Oregon they had the cottage industry of the various uniforms, and the thing that I loved about all their uniforms, no matter what they wore, they had a look. You knew it was Oregon immediately. But in recent years, they've started to streamline that look just a little bit. Fewer combos, emphasis on the traditional school colors. This is what they're going to wear tonight.
Bigger number.
You can see
huge number.
You can see those numbers. You can see those numbers from Pluto. Yeah, basically.
Why do I feel like in a year or two from every team will have that big uniform, big number look?
Yeah.
It starts with Oregon, and then everybody else catches on a year or two later.
Yeah, and the trendsetters. It's always good for the spotters in the booth, too.
No question.
No doubt.
I am loving life tonight.
Mike Black pointing out, that's an 18. We got that there.
That's a 1-8 right there. We're good.
Giant numbers are on the jerseys, but minuscule numbers in the rush defense department for Oregon. The Ducks have been really good against the run, but they've also played two of the bottom 10 rushing offenses in the country. Stanford, on the other hand, bottom 20 on the ground. Pedestrian, to put it kindly, but no rush offense with Bryce Love is pedestrian. Stats say one thing, tape says quite another.
he is a guy that will make you miss. He'll also run through you.
Not a lot of people that can do what he's doing on the field, and they know if they give him crease, he's going to make a big play.
Love on the loose, and Love never lies. Touchdown, Stanford.
Whenever he touches the ball, make sure everybody rally to the football and wrap up, and do not allow yourself to miss a tackle. Just make sure our defense stays aggressive, and make sure we just come out fired up, and make sure we can just stay on top.
Stanford with a convincing performance against USC, and the Oregon Ducks go to 3-0.
Both teams are undefeated. Both teams are rolling. Just getting that lead in the North is going to be big.
Take that first step in the right direction with our first Pac-12 game, and I love that at Stanford because it's going to be a true test to see what we're really about.
This crowd's hoping that they can see Oregon sort of start to take the step in the right direction. You see, since the start of 2015, they're under 500 in Pac-12 play. They haven't opened the Pac-12 schedule with a win since 2014 when they went on to play for the national championship. They'd like to get off to a great start tonight. If so, the defense is going to have to deliver against a Stanford offense that shows more weapons than just Bryce Love.
Absolutely. Bryce Love is what you think about when you think of Stanford's offense, but it's more balanced, and I think the quarterback, KJ Costello, is a big part of that. What I found interesting is Stanford does what they do. And I think teams this year have come in and they've decided, listen, Bryce Love is not going to beat us. We're going to load up the line of scrimmage and try to take away what this guy can do. And it opens up opportunities for KJ Costello. First of all, inside the tackles. Everyone's determined to take away that. So what they do is they push it to the outside. He has 17 carries, only 11 yards between the tackles. So what they've done is they've gotten the ball to the outside. Get him on the perimeter. Make the defensive backs tackle one-on-one. Look at this, loading up the line of scrimmage. It's a pin and a pull. He's much better on the outside. 7 yards a carry this season on the outside. There's the pull. You get into the perimeter. That's where he can do his damage, and that's what Oregon's going to have to deal with Bryce Love. Not just between tackles, but they've done a good job getting him to the outside. And here's the part that I think makes Stanford different. This is a third down play. He's got big tight ends like they always have. Watch him. If you go split safeties, you better be ready for the Stanford tight ends getting down the middle of the field, because it's Caden Smith. They have what it takes to not only get down the field and make a play, but they have great size, so they're really a tough matchup. And I think with Oregon and what they're doing, Des, defensively, I think they're going to try to take away Bryce Love. Obviously, that's where you start, but you better be careful because Costello, I think, is a rising star in this offense.
He's been playing very well so far, but how about the other quarterback in this game? Justin Herbert. I mean, this guy is outstanding. You guys, excuse me, I got to stand up to talk about this kid. Listen, when you watch this young man tonight, he's going to make some amazing throws, just NFL caliber throws. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. 6'6", 240 pounds, and he can make all the throws and then some. Watch how he manipulates the safety at the bottom right there. He wants to hold him right there so you can hit the bang aid right up the hand. But look at the throw. Look at that accuracy. It doesn't get any better than that. But hold on, is he a pocket passer? No, he can get out on the edge, just play action. Throws to his right, a guy in his vision, throws off of one leg. Watch, you're gonna see 5 defenders like, what the duck? How in the hell did that ball get in there? This is an NFL caliber quarterback, I'm trying to tell you. And don't think he can just throw the ball, he can run it too. No pressure. Justin wants to go down the field with the ball, but he's 6'6", guys. When he starts to go, those long strides, he can eat up yardage. To me, people are talking about Nick Bosa from Ohio State and Oliver at Houston. In my opinion, when you watch this young man tonight, you're going to watch the first draft pick in the NFL draft.
Oh, man.
Done. Done.
Oh, Michael.
Done.
I'm done. You got me all fired up. To win this game, Oregon is going to have to make it a shootout. Quarterback Justin Herbert. He's a secret. He can throw the ball. You can show it. Now, listen, Justin has thrown 12 touchdown passes, the most in 3 games in school history. He done it. Now, you didn't mention that, did you?
No, I didn't.
I'll mention another thing. He has thrown a touchdown pass in each of his last 18 games.
Stop it.
Yeah,
Stop
now,
it.
Listen, there's a couple of points that could lead to an Oregon upset. When they are ranked, Oregon has won 23 of 25 games in Autzen Stadium. Whoa! And listen to this. They beat Stanford by 29 points 4 years ago. How much the difference? 4 years ago. Tough game.
Tough game, yeah.
Tough game.
I remember Zach Ertz beat him here.
You want to get up? Get up, stand up.
One of those.
Bear, do you want to stand up and tell us what you think about Stanford and Oregon? All rise, Bear. All rise.
I think that if Oregon is the Pac-12 contender that everybody thinks they're going to be, this is a game they have to win. 13, 14 in Pac-12 games since Marcus Mariota left. 6 home losses the last 2 years.
We just get in the midsection. You got to sit back down. Yeah,
too much. I know.
You can adjust the camera.
We're working on it.
The headline game of the night is Stanford and Oregon. Maria and David down there. What do you guys think?
Well, I want to know what David thinks about this Stanford defense, because we've been talking a lot about Justin Herbert, but what you got on the Cardinal D?
Well, it's the #1 scoring defense in the country, and I want to see if I can buy into that. I want to see them play a really good offense, and listen, I think they got a guy at every level that you're going to know their name by the end of the day, and that's what Justin Herbert's going to be going against today. This is what you want to find out. Get to know these guys, because when you look at this guy coming off the edge, he's always going to be on the left. Alfieri, this guy can rush the passer. I mean, he's really quick. Watch him come off. This is a game. He's quick. He's shifty. Some speed. He's going to have to chase Justin Herbert all game long in the back end. Paulson, listen, at corner, he's got the number one. He's got the #1 pass defenses in the league, or in the nation. Has done really well. We're covered right here. How does he match up on the outside with Herbert throwing the football down the field and then Big Barton on the inside? This guy's leading the team in tackles. He flies all over the field. You watch him against USC in the middle. Does a great job. Now listen, so you got a guy up front, you got a guy in the middle, and you got a guy in the back end. So far, they've been very productive for this Stanford defense. They're going to have their hands full today with Justin, though.
All right, David, you're real cute and whatever, and we got to know some of Stanford defense, but I want you to get to know somebody. Come here.
Okay.
Big Boy from Outcast is in Eugene right now.
Okay.
He's an AT alien, so it's kind of a big deal.
You want me to just leave? I can leave.
No,
if
you
want.
can stay.
Okay.
I want to get your pick for the game.
Oh, it's go Ducks all day. You know?
David, who you got?
I'm rolling with the Ducks too, actually, believe it or not. So Big
Boy.
But Big Boy carries more weight than me. I mean, the
chain is already carrying so much
strong.
weight. It's strong. All right, we got Big Boy out here. We're in Eugene. The Ducks are a big deal. Reese, I don't know what else we can deliver to you from the DM.
maybe Andre 3000.
I think he in New York chilling.
All right, Reese.
Big Boy and Pollock. That's 2 of the 3 shots I never really anticipate seeing right there. Oh, Wheels Up is bringing us our celebrity guest picker, the great Tim Matheson, is joining us. Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman from Animal House, and Tim has a long list of credits. He'll add College Game Day guest picker to that coming up in a matter of moments.
Where's Corso? Expected, maybe a hello.
Waiting on you, Tim. He's waiting.
Look at this.
This is Chef Tiffany Norton and crew from Party Downtown here in Eugene.
Thank you.
You got some salmon.
Chicken.
Yes, ma'am. Knife, fork, plate, utensils.
Here you go, my friend.
Man, thank you very much.
Scott said.
There you go.
Backyard.
Passing that lost to Missouri last week. College Game Day rolling from Eugene. Corso's already said that his favorite's the duck. Is that the headgear he's going to go with? Maria's with the Rush Chairman, I believe. Maria?
Yes, I'm with Tim Matheson, and the question is, what do you remember about being in this baby during Animal House?
Well, we had one of the best stunt drivers in Hollywood. We were down inside ready to crash this into the grandstand.
I thought that we would have seatbelts. Obviously, we don't.
No!
Okay, what's the best scene from Animal House that you remember?
Getting a date with Fawn Leibowitz, who a sophomore killed in a kiln explosion.
Oh yeah, and this is the Deathmobile, so I don't feel too good about it. The picks are coming up. Who'll Tim go with? Who'll Coach put on the duck headgear? I don't know. You're gonna have to come back. We're gonna try not to fall out of the Deathmobile. Yeah. Tim, I'll help you down. Come on.
You know you make me wanna.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. And in part by Coke Zero Sugar. And Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. From the end zone to the uprights, nothing comes between hard work and a goal. Goodyear, more driven. After your day of college football, Sports Center from L.A. tonight. Keep going. I like to go for those wins. Maybe next week I'll find one I like better. Let's take a look at our Saturday selections for today. They are brought to you by Chevrolet.
Here's how the guest pickers have done so far. Luke Bryan leading the way. Roman Reigns and Owen Gray off pace. But now we have Tim Matheson with us from Animal House fame. Let's make some picks.
Whoa! Thank you for having me here. I'm going after Luke Bryan.
All right, at the top. Let's start, guys, in Division 3. Got John Carroll and Mount Union. This is a huge showdown. Mount Union has dominated the division.
I'm going to go with Mount Union. They're on the 17-game winning streak, so I think it goes to 18. I'm going Mount Union.
Well, I think I've never heard of John Carroll.
There you go.
It sounds like the start of a Bible story, you know. But I think that I will not oppose the Purple Raiders. Mount Union is going to win.
Yes, sir.
Lee Corso, damn right, I beat you. Nice
Not
to meet
so
you.
fast,
Not so
my
fast.
friend.
Not so fast. John Carroll, in honor of Don Shula, who went to school there.
That's the only reason?
I'm taking the upset.
No matter who Mount Union plays, I'm picking Mount Union. So I got Mount Union here. Go with the Purple Raiders.
There you go. Arizona and Oregon State. Arizona is staying in our hotel. 6 of their guys, and I think, Kevin, someone got stuck on the elevator last night. They're free to take on the Beavers now. Who wins it?
I was about to make that same point, but they look like they might be ready for this game, so I'm going to go with the Wildcats. Bear down, Arizona.
I think Khalil Tate will return to being more of a mobile quarterback, but giving the Beavers a headache. But I'm going with Oregon State.
Oh, wow.
Not a popular pick around here. I like that, Tim. Not popular. Come on.
How can you do that here? They lost, Arizona lost to State by 25 points the last time they played in Corvallis. Not this time.
What is this doing here, right here? Is that for the later?
Warm up.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go with Arizona because they stayed in our hotel, and we think Khalil Tate is going to take this offense to another level. This is a great defense to do that against. Khalil Tate in Arizona.
All right, Arizona State and Washington late tonight.
Huskies. Jake Browning has a big game. You guys are like what?
They hate Washington here tonight. Tim, what do you think?
Well, after defeating the Utes last week, I think they found their way and on a roll. UW.
Nice pick. The Fighting Edwards go down this time. The Fighting Edwards go down, Washington.
Yeah, that was so exciting after a couple of weeks. Everybody was talking about them, but I think Washington, especially at home, Washington just too much on both sides of the ball. Huskies for the fans here.
All right, let's go Big Ten. Give me a quick pick on Kansas and Baylor. Kansas is hot.
That's a tough one, but I'm going with Kansas, in the close game.
Yeah, Jayhawks are playing as if their alum Ron Riggle is coaching them. They'll be 4-0 after this one.
Wow.
No, Baylor has beaten Kansas 8 straight times. Make it 9.
I think you guys disagree on every game so far.
I know. It's like he's Niedermeyer.
He's listening.
And Oregon, it's the one everybody here is waiting on since the Pac-12 split into divisions. 6 of the 7 years, either the Cardinal or the Ducks have played in the championship game. Winner, the main contender against Oregon in the North, the stakes, or against Washington in the North, stakes are high.
A lot's at stake. Both teams are undefeated. Both teams are rolling. It's our first big test of the season.
I think this is critical for taking the Pac-12 North to win this game, set ourselves apart from the rest of the Pac-12.
Pac-12 play is so much different, especially when it's in the division.
With our first Pac-12 game, I love that it's Stanford. This is the team that we haven't been able to get over the hump.
When you start off with a team that's not only undefeated, but also a top 10 football team, in our opinion, it's just like a playoff game.
This is what you say.
All right, are we getting everything squared away on this end? No call from Herbie because he's on the game tonight. Who wins it? Who wins, Stanford or Oregon?
I tell you, my biggest concern is Bryce Love and his health. I don't know how healthy he is. I don't know if he's going to be able to last through this game. And Justin Herbert, like I said, probably the best quarterback west of the Mississippi. I got to go with the Oregon Ducks in this game tonight.
You know, I got a conflict. My son's girlfriend goes to Stanford, but Oregon... University of Oregon is my home team, so I just want to say Ronald Reagan said win one for the Gipper. I got to say to Oregon, win one for the Otter.
Hey! Oh, that was good. Not so fast, my friend. You're kind of funny. It's great to be back here. I love this. Sweetheart, you know, this is one of my favorite places to come.
It's your favorite. I mean, of all the places in the country, you and the Duck, you guys have so many moments together.
Yeah.
You guys go way back. This is your favorite by far.
It's my favorite. The Bear. How many times have I picked the Ducks?
18 times.
18 times.
And Bear.
Hey, what did I do last week?
They beat San Jose State, but they didn't cover that big number.
I was going to say, what's the spread tonight, Bear?
Stanford's a small favorite, about 2.5 points.
Usually you go with the home dog, don't you?
I always do. But this week, wait a minute. Look at that duck. Does that duck look very confident to you?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Give it to me.
You gotta go with it?
Hey, I didn't come all this way.
We came too far for you not to pick this duck. Oh my goodness gracious. The duck is happy.
We got a live duck right there. Easy. You got him in a nice, safe position.
LC, that's good. That's good on the suit. Perfect. Coming out the backside. All right.
That's so much for that suit. Hey, Tim Matheson, thank you so much. What a great time we had. Look at the duck. Oh, we got a Cape Food fight. We had a great time with the Animal House Connection. Great day of college football coming.
There we go.
There we go with the duck. Easy. It is duck season. Duck soup coming.